This is the Canon R50V, Canon's newest camera to their R series mirrorless lineup. This camera is built for video but still takes amazing photos, perfect for content creators. It packs some features that are not on any other R series cameras. As you can tell, it's very small. Here it is compared to my R6 Mark II. This little camera can shoot 4K oversampled from 6K at 30 frames per second with no crop, and 60 frames per second with the crop. For all of you slow-mo shooters out there, this camera can shoot 1080p all the way up to 120 frames per second, all with a crop sensor and C-Log 3. I sold my original R50 to buy this camera. Let's start by talking about the design of the Canon R50V. When you first look at the camera, the first thing you notice is how small it is. The body itself can easily fit into your pocket. It comes in at about 350 grams, less than half the weight of Canon's other video-based mirrorless cameras. One thing I don't like about the body is the grip. As somebody with big hands, my finger rests on the dial, and sometimes when moving my finger, it'll click on a button. There is a fix for this problem, but we'll get to that later. Another thing you might notice when looking at the camera is that there is no electronic viewfinder. This camera only has a rotating touchscreen. If you want a bigger view of your screen, you're also going to have to connect an external monitor. One of my favorite things about this camera is its new buttons. These buttons are dedicated to video shooting. The first of three is the live button. This button takes you straight to a live streaming menu for switching between different types of streaming. The second of the three buttons is the lock button. This is my favorite button that's been added to this camera. This is the only Canon mirrorless camera that has a lock button inside this price range. My Canon R6 Mark II has a lock mode, but it's inside the on and off dial. I kind of like the button better because it's quicker and you won't accidentally turn your camera off. The last new button is the color button. This is another big deal for video shooters. The color button takes you straight to a color menu where you can switch your color profile quickly. You can choose between picture style, color filter, and custom picture. The custom picture lets you choose HDR PQ or C-Log 3. Yes, this tiny camera can shoot C-Log 3, making it the perfect B-cam. We will talk more about C-Log 3 later. All of these new buttons can double as custom buttons to control whatever you want. On the top mode dial, you can switch between normal video, SNF mode for slow and fast recording, auto video shooting, one photo mode, and 3 custom video modes that can all be set up in the menu. The selection wheel also doubles as a dial that can be used to control your shutter speed, aperture, or ISO. There's also another dial next to the on and off switch. There's also a dial next to the record button that can be used to control a power zoom lens if you buy the kit lens. There's also a second record button on the front of the camera body. When you're recording, the tally light in the corner of the camera will light up. The video quality on this little camera is very good. It can shoot 4K all the way up to 30 frames per second with no crop. If you do want to shoot 4K 60, there is a 1.5x crop, so I don't recommend using that mode. There are multiple picture profiles to choose from, including C-Log 3. If you don't already know what C-Log 3 is, it basically gives you the most dynamic range out of your camera. It also looks great. This camera shooting C-Log 3 makes it the perfect B-cam for some of Canon's higher end cameras. The Canon R50V does not come with IBIS, but it comes with digital stabilization. Here's a comparison between a Canon R6 Mark II with IBIS and no IBIS from the Canon R50V. Let's talk about the downsides. The first downside is the hand grip. If you have big hands, I recommend getting a cage from Small Rig for this camera to get a bigger grip. Second downside is that it has no IBIS. If you're going to be doing any kind of vlogging or handheld shooting in the future, you will definitely need to stabilize your footage in post. Third downside is the crop sensor. This camera has a crop sensor, not a full frame sensor. This means that on any full frame lens, you will get a 1.6x crop. So, a 50mm would be about a 75mm. With a crop sensor, you will also not get as good low light performance compared to a full frame sensor. If you're buying this camera, you're probably going to want to buy some budget lenses too. Here are some great options. The first lens I recommend is the Canon RF 16mm f2.8 STM. The second lens I recommend is the Canon RF 28mm f2.8 STM. The third lens I recommend is the Canon RF28-70 f2.8 IS STM. This one's a little more expensive, but it's definitely the best. Fourth lens I recommend is the Canon RF 16-28mm f2.8 IS STM. This will be great if you want to get wide angles with your crop sensor. The fifth lens is the Sigma RF 18-50mm f2.8 DC DN. This lens can only work with crop sensors though. Sixth lens is the brand new Sigma RF 17-40mm f1.8 DC, which also only works with crop sensors. All the lenses and accessories I talked about in this video will be linked in the description. And that is all I have to say about the Canon R50V. Thanks for watching.